Yo, 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 welcome back to Virginia Kid Podcast 216. You already know how we start. We start off by thanking God for all He has done for me and what He will continue to do for me, but not only me, my family, my friends, and those who I don't even know. You know how we start? Verse of the day. I'm gonna have to, if y'all got any questions about this verse, just message me because I don't have the exact chapter. I had it. I got it wrote down in my notes somewhere, but I'm gonna read it. So Jesus said to those who believed in Him, "If you obey my teachings, you are really my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So whatever that means to you, think about it. Let it sink in, and just think about what it means to you. I'm gonna say what it means to me. So Jesus is basically saying, for those who believe in Him, which is me, I'm a believer. If you obey my teachings, so whatever God tells you to do, living right, following the commandments, going to church, spending time with God, whatever it is, that's being obedient and obeying God. You are really my disciples. And disciples are people that believe in Him. And believers who are disciples. And you will know the truth, and this will set you free. So as you get closer to God, this is what I think. Once you get closer to God, once you believed in Him, once you obey Him and His teachings and everything you're supposed to do, you will know the truth, and everything else will fall into place. But it's in this order. You will know the truth. That's what it means to me. Maybe somebody else took it, interpreted a different way, and we all do, and that's okay. But that's what I got from it, from the verse of the day. The title of the day in this episode is going to be titled Mother. Mother. We all have a mother, but or had a mother, or she's still with us in spirit. But before I get into it, I'm gonna read an article as a reference of a mother, and this is a deep meaning. A mother is a selfless, loving human who must sacrifice many of many of her own wants and needs for her children. That's what the article says. But and that's a good and I think that's a good explanation. But I'm gonna get a little bit deeper. I've had the opportunity in my life where I feel like I've had three mothers. I had one biological mother. Um, at a point in my time in my life, and I'm gonna share my personal experience real quick. At a point in my time in my life, my mom wasn't well. My mom was in the streets. My mom was on drugs. She wasn't able to take care of me or my siblings. So when that happened, my grandmother took care of me and three other of my siblings, and she raised us as her own. And then when my mom was well and got her going into rehab, got well, she took back over. I lived with my mom with her. I lived with her up until I graduated high school. I love my mom. And then I had my nanny that was like a mother to me too. So I always think, I've always thought of it like I was blessed to have three mothers, not just one. But a mother is a person or a woman that brings you into this world. And wrong, right, or indifferent, we all know that mothers, I believe this, that mothers are designed to get on your nerves. But that doesn't mean that they don't love you any more or any less. They love you. But they're always trying to, excuse that sound, y'all, but they're always trying to look out for your best interest, vast majority of the time. And they want you to grow. They want you to get older. They want you to be mature. They they want what's best for you. Like I can say, like my mother, I'm going back to my grandmother because she had raised me half my life. She wanted me to be responsible, and my grandmother, which I call my mother too, like she wanted me to be independent, and she didn't want me. She raised me in the sense of not always having to depend on nobody, because she always told me that because you never know if that person gonna show up or not. I'll use this as an example. Like my grandmother used to, and my mother used to always give me rides to work, ride to work, ride to work. So one day, my grandmother said, "Hey, you need to start catching the bus because there's one day I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be here, and I don't want you to always rely on me. That when I'm not here, you don't know what to do. So I'm going to show you how to do it." And I didn't want to do it because I was so used to her doing that for me, taking me to work, picking me up, running me here, running me there. She was like, "There's no shame or there's nothing wrong with you getting on the bus, public transportation, or getting your car if you have the funds to get around. Don't always depend on nobody. You want to do something, get up and do it yourself." I remember her telling me that as a kid. So, and then I remember my mother telling me that she told me to never burn my bridges. I remember I was in high school, feeling myself. I was working two jobs. I was working at Family Dollar. I was working at Family Dollar. What was the other store? Family Dollar and Dave's Supermarket. So my mother told me not to quit. She said, if you're gonna quit, give a notice, leave on good terms. And then, like I said, this mother's trying to teach you something. She said, if you're gonna leave on good terms. You never want to burn your bridges because you never know when you gotta walk past that bridge again. So you never want to burn your bridges. I know you don't like it, but don't just flat out quit. Or just continue to work both, but just work less hours at one job. I was young and I didn't want to hear that. So you know what I did? I went inside the store and I worked my last day and I told the supervisors that I quit. And that was it. But the life lesson in that is it was like a few years after that I tried to get my job back and they wouldn't let me get my job back based on the conditions of how I left. So they didn't give me my job back. And that was on me. And I felt bad, but I'm like, my mother told me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all gotta realize that a mother, a grandmother, she's somebody's mother. Somebody, even if it's not technically your mother or whatever, like they hold some type of significance in our life. And a lot of times, many of them are just trying to show us what's right and how to do what's in the best interest of us. And I remember when my mom and my grandma used to always tell me this stuff, I never could see their point. I always just saw my way. And that's one thing that I missed because there wasn't a time, there wasn't an hour, there wasn't a second that I could call my mom and she can give me some advice and she could talk to me, tell me something. Like, I remember my mother telling me that sometimes just listen. Don't always get an attitude, just listen. And try to not listen to respond. Just really listen to try to understand or try to get their point of view. And I miss her dearly. I miss her dearly. My mom has been gone since 2013. And my grandmother has been gone since 2009, and my other grandmother has been gone since 2019, and I miss them. But I looked at all of them like mothers, even though I only biologically only had one mother. And I'm just here to tell y'all that cherish your mother. Cherish your mother. You never know how much time they have left. Like picture this. Picture your mom telling you something and you not listening and something happens to her. What's gonna be the last thing on your mind? Only if I will listen to my mother. You know? So we have to work on just listening. And I know they can get nuck if you bug and rowdy and crazy and yelling. Trust me, I get it. My mom was like that too. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily right, but I respected her as my mother. And I knew, even though her tactics wasn't always in the right way, but I knew her intentions were always good. And I feel like we need to know that, like, you know, having a mother, having a parent, their intentions, for the most part, are always good. And they're always trying to help you. But a lot of us don't receive it like that. Like, I'm grown. She can't tell me what to do. Yes, she can. Because you ain't never too old for a life lesson. And I'm here to tell y'all to cherish your mother. If she's still in your life, cherish her. If it's somebody that's not technically your mother, but they've been in your life since day one, cherish them as much as you can. And if they have caused you any pain or trauma, whatever it is, then maybe you could try to talk to them, maybe sit down with a therapist, and maybe y'all can, you know, come to some type of common ground and try to address it. But you never want to hold a grudge or anything. You just want to try to move past it, because you don't want the last memories of you and your mother and you guys were fighting, or you guys fell out, or you guys wasn't talking. You know, like, life too short for that. Life is too short for that. Listen as much as you can, even if you don't want to. Just listen. No matter how old we are, people be like, I'm old. Can anybody tell me nothing? Yes, you can. Like my grandma used to always tell me, you ain't too old for no whooping. But cherish your mother, please. Because when my mom wasn't here, I wish she was still here. That's how bad I missed her. And all I have right now is memories, and some good, some bad. But I just wish that I could call her. I just had a birthday, February 6th. Hers is the 9th. Wish we could just talk one last time. I wish I could tell her that I had a wife. I wish I could tell her that I had 7 boys, biologically 4, but altogether 7. We're a blended family. I wish I could tell her that I had a wife. I could talk to her in spirit, but not in the physical. You feel me? So that's one thing that I miss, you know. But when I was growing up and we spent those years together, I just never knew that she would be gone so soon. I thought she would get to see me accomplish more. I thought she would get to see me do more, you know? But at the most important times of my life, I could say that she was there. She was there when I graduated high school. She was there when I graduated my class. It was a job readiness program class, you know? So she was there at the times where I needed her the most. And I appreciate it. And I just want to thank God for that. And We just have to do better. You know, I'm gonna leave y'all on this. When my mom was out there and she was in the streets and she was doing that stuff, I was angry because I felt like she should have been with me. And she was. She got the opportunity to be with me. Not when I wanted it to happen, but she had an opportunity to be with me. And God made that possible. So I owe thanks to God from that. And if y'all thinking about your mother right now, just remember everything that she taught you. Everything that she still instilled in you. It's still there. It resides in you. It resides in you. Just remember everything. And I'm sure that it will be okay. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Everybody deals with grief. The people that don't have their mom, everybody deal with grief differently. But it's going to be okay. But when you think about them, it's okay to get sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to do all that stuff. But for those who still got their mother, and y'all just fell out right now, you need to give her a phone call right now and tell you love her. You need to go over there, knock on the door, tell you love her, embrace her. Because you don't know how many times you have left. And that's facts. Love on your mother as much as you can. If she toxic, pray for her. Some things are out of our control. We can't do nothing about, but I guarantee you that God can. Pray for them. Pray, and have her in the grandkids' life. Spend as many memories with your mother as possible because you never know when it's going to be her last day or here on earth. And like I said before, remember everything that she's still in you. Because I'm pretty sure it's always been with good intentions. Love on your mother. Love on your mother as much as you can. Thank y'all for listening to a Genuine Kid Podcast 216. I'll see y'all next week.